guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, high school, and 1 new graduate. Today I'm going to be going through my summer quarterly refresh in my PowerSheets, and I am so happy that you are here. This is probably looking a little bit different than my normal quarterly refreshes. I have not had time to set everything up and sit down and do a front-facing video, so we are doing top-down because my camera is already set up for that from all of my Plan With Me's. So I am going to just go through everything with you and share kind of how I feel like things have gone over the past season. I am in the middle of my 13th week / quarterly reset week. Right now, the first week in June, and it has been going amazing. This is the second time that I have worked this week into my planning system. My first 13th week was back at the start of April as I was getting ready for the spring season. I have a whole playlist. I have an introduction on why I'm doing that and what I hope to gain from it. I will leave that linked for you in the description box. Essentially, the 13th week comes from the book, The 12-Week Year. There is this final chapter in the book, The 12-Week Year, called Final Thoughts and the 13th Week. Essentially, the 13th week is an opportunity, it says right here, for you to review your results from the previous 12 weeks and launch you into the next 12 weeks with fresh goals and a plan to reach them. That is part of what this week is for me. It's all about reflecting on the previous season, and because we're kind of in the middle of the year, also the first half of the year for me, as well as looking ahead to the next season and what I want out of my goals for the next season and life. But it's not just that, it's also taking the time to figure out what's most important in the coming season. I use a lot from the book Essentialism. I'm trying to reset my home for a new season and just take the time that I need to renew myself, do some fun hobby things, and rest, which has been definitely needed after the busy season that we had. So I'm going to go through my action plans with you, and then we will talk about the summer season. So these are my goals for the year: create restful rhythms and systems that nurture myself and my family, create a sanctuary at home filled with peace, love, and togetherness, create a wellness rhythm that balances health, joy, and creativity, create a learning environment that inspires my kids' passions and prepares them for real-world independence, create meaningful adventures that strengthen family bonds and nurture my own sense of wonder, and create sustainable growth in my work in order to support my family's future. So a couple of areas have been a struggle for me this season. The first is the create a sanctuary at home goal. I will talk about my action plans in just a moment, but I had planned to do a little bit of spring cleaning this season, and some of it did happen, but a lot of it didn't happen. I knew that I had very limited time in April and May, and I was hoping to do a little bit more in my home because we did have a flood. If you're new, welcome. But if you are not new, you'll know that our basement flooded in March, and it's a finished basement. It's where all our homeschool stuff lives. It's where a lot of the kids' toys and other stuff lives, and we have not had that space. It is still a work in progress. I'm not sure when it's going to be finished, but it really set me back on the projects that I had planned for this year, because one of the big projects that I had was to convert the basement into more teen hangout living space instead of homeschool storage space, which is essentially what it has been. So I haven't really been able to do that. And then create meaningful adventures. I knew in this season we weren't going to be doing a ton of stuff. However, I had tried to take the steps to at least make progress on that by starting the passport process. However, if you watch my May goals, you will already know this. I need a different type of birth certificate than what I have, and I had zero time to connect with the Vital Records office in order to find that and get it. So unfortunately, we had to put the passports on the back burner, which is okay. That's, it is what it is. Those 2 goals I am hoping to do more with in the coming season, but we will see. But my other goals I feel like are going quite well. Creating restful rhythms. I'm sticking to my morning routine. I have my theme days throughout the week. I do my Monday reset. I'm still practicing Sabbath rest, even though it's not always on Sunday because these past couple of months have been super busy. And I have been taking time to make sure that I'm meal prepping and food prepping so that I have stuff available for myself and the kids. So that's going well. Create a wellness rhythm. I have been focusing a lot over the past 6 months on health tracking and symptom tracking and going to all the doctor's appointments and getting all the kids to the doctor's appointments, which doesn't necessarily relate to my wellness rhythm, but it is still something that is important. Getting out for walks every day, taking time to read for enjoyment during the day, making sure that I'm sitting once in a while during the day. I have the tendency to just keep going, just do one more thing on the to-do list. And even this week, I've caught myself a couple of times trying to sit down to do something and realizing, oh, okay, now it's 4 o'clock. I've got to start thinking about dinner. That's something that I would like to work more on over the summer, is just trying to figure out a way to easily get meals on the table for everybody. My kids do pitch in. Emma makes a lot of lunches and breakfasts for us, so that is very helpful, but dinner is still a struggle, and I absolutely love cooking, so it is what it is. It's just a little challenging. Create a learning environment that inspires my kids' passions and prepares them for real-world independence has been going great. We are graduating Emma. I do have like an interview with her, and I have our end-of-year curriculum reviews. If you are interested in that stuff, I will leave it linked in the description box. But I feel good about how our homeschool year has gone, and I have done the majority of homeschool planning for next year, so I'm feeling really good about things. And then my work goal, I did put this on my goals at the start of the year, but I haven't really been setting goals in my PowerSheets for my work, so I'm actually going to leave that off. So if we go through the daily habits that I had for the spring season, some of them are daily habits, and I wrote them all in my restful rhythms color. However, some of them also are associated with other goals, so they have other colors with them. Walk, read, my 1 line a day, journaling, Sabbath, screen-free day was pretty good. We got about half of the days done. And then passion projects we worked on pretty much every week. So I was feeling really good about my daily habits. And none of these were new things. They were continuations. And with such a busy season, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I just wanted to make sure that I was still trying to do these things that I had implemented earlier in the year. So I feel really good about this one. Homeschool planning. I did pretty much everything except for the SAT registration for Emma. It's something that I'm hoping I can figure out. There isn't a July SAT date that I know of, but there is one in August, so I'm crossing my fingers that I can figure something out so that she can take that. And then the last action plan that I had for this season was to declutter, and the 2 main areas that I was able to get done were my master bedroom closet and the cubby space in my master bedroom, which is something that I have put on my tending list all through the first quarter of the year as well as April and May, but I was finally able to get to this and I felt really good about it. The basement was something that I was hoping to get to because I thought that some of the repairs for our basement where the leak was and everything would be done before now. Unfortunately, they are not, so I am unable to do next steps until that is done, and that's kind of out of my control. So until then, that is just kind of on the back burner. So I have done refreshed goals for the next season, and this is in the PowerSheets. They do have a quarterly refresh section for every quarter, so this falls after the June tab, even though I am setting my summer season, June, July, and August. Most summer seasons start July, even though I live in Maine, so June is summer here. September is definitely fall for us. So I have decided to refresh my goals. These are just goals for this current season. They all still are part of my yearly goals, but there are some more specific projects and things that I wanted to do. Some of them will essentially be done, hopefully, in June, but some of the things are things that I'm just hoping to do all summer long. So the first one that I have is focus on already established restful rhythms. And so essentially what that means is I want to continue doing the things like my AM routine, stopping to read in the afternoons, the things that I have been pretty consistent with this year. I just want to continue them and just making it a priority to recognize them. Things like Sabbath rest, things like my morning routine. Like I said, my morning routine probably will be a little bit more in depth because I have a little bit more time during the summer months. And so I'm hoping to do a couple of different Bible studies that are just a little bit more in depth. And so I'm looking forward to that. The next goal is part of my Create a Sanctuary at Home goal. And that is to prepare our home for impromptu entertaining. And essentially what that means is just to get into a good space that the house is mostly presentable most of the time, as well as making sure that I have things like paper plates and plastic cups and easy meals and snacks and things that we can just put out if we have people come over. It's things like having a box set up for s'mores so that if we decide to have a fire and have people over, that's available. It's things like getting the grill ready and having stuff available for grilling, easy things like that are just prepped in advance so that we are ready to go. So that is that goal. And this one I will probably try to finish by the end of June. There will still be maintenance things like keeping the house ready for guests will still be a part of it, and restocking supplies and stuff, but most of the work will be in June. The next goal that I have is to prepare my car for easy outings. And what I mean by that is things like making sure that I have my bag packed so that if we want to go on a day trip, I can just grab that bag that has most of our stuff, bug spray, sunscreen, towels, hats, easy snacks to grab and go, and getting my car totally cleaned out. A lot of that stuff can just stay in the car. Just making sure that my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. Sorry guys, that's, dumb joke. But so that's also something that I'm hoping to just finish in June. And then obviously if we need to restock things throughout the summer, I will do that. The next goal that I have is part of my Create Meaningful Adventures goal, and that is to actually adventure. During the first 5 months of the year, we have not had time to do anything really that fun. In the winter, we were all really sick, and then with the flood, and then April and May being so incredibly busy, we've gotten now to June, and I don't want the summer to fly by the way that every summer seems to fly by for me. I want to be able to lean into adventure, and I'm hoping to do day trips with the kids, and then hopefully do something at least once a month with the whole family, because my husband obviously works during the week, so he is not around for a large portion of it, and so hopefully we can still get out and do some fun stuff. That is my plan. We shall see. The next is part of my Creating a Learning Environment that Inspires My Kids' Passions goal and my own passions, and that's to prep and start the 2025-2026 homeschool year, which is so crazy to me because we're just closing 2024-2025 and Emma graduating, but these are my quarterly goals, and we will have started school by the end of August. So making sure that I have this on my goals. This will take some time. Yes, I'm pretty much planned out for the year, but I do still need to choose a start date, and I kind of need to structure our year as a whole. Once that's done, I don't have too much else that I need to do. Organizing the books and getting the bins put together for Jack and Lucy, getting the books put away from this previous year, which is kind of in limbo because of our basement situation, and then just starting the homeschool year, going back to school shopping and stuff. I know it's just the start of summer, but really, they put this back to school stuff out right after the 4th of July here in Maine. I don't know if that's the way it is for you as well, and the kids don't even go back to school until after Labor Day around here, so it's crazy to me. Anyways, the next thing on my list is relating to my restful rhythms, and that is easy grab and go snacks and meals. This is more about food prep, just having like cold salads available in the fridge, hard-boiled eggs, things that we can easily grab like cheese and crackers, or like cheese crackers and pepperoni or salami or whatnot, cases of water, snacky things that we can just pack up in a cooler to go on day trips, that kind of stuff. I need to focus on that, and I'm probably going to try and use some ChatGPT to come up with some ideas. I feel like that's very helpful. ChatGPT is in those types of areas. And then my final goal for this summer is to continue to prioritize the wellness rhythms and habits I've developed this year, and that is walking, reading, my 1 line a day journal. It is tracking my health symptoms in my little N1 monthly booklet from Sterling Inc., and just keeping track of all of that stuff the same way that I have been doing for the past couple of months. I just want to continue doing that. So these are my goals for the summer months. On Monday, I will have my June goals up. I have already done them. I'm really excited about June. I think that I maybe planned a little bit too much, but I was looking at our empty calendar and know that some of the monthly projects won't take me too long to do. So we'll see. We'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about goal setting or about my summer goals, or if you need help with your own summer goals, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. And if you are looking for more help and encouragement, I'd love for you to come check out my membership community. We're going to be focusing a lot on rest and morning routines and some restful rhythms over the summer over there. And I would love for you to join us. That link is also always in the description box. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.